All right, we're back with another one. Today, what we're going to be doing actually is going through this post here by DBS Sparking Zero. He is acting pretty much as a bridge between the player base and Bandai, or attempting to, which again we should appreciate because Sparking Zero at this point has been out for a couple weeks at least. Still very early in its lifespan. There's still a lot of things we're going to have to hash out, figure out, understand. But there are some notable things that we have been able to discover thus far. So with that in mind, he did start this thread, and this is just again, after us all having time to play through Sparking Zero, what is your honest feedback at this point? So we're gonna go ahead and go through that, your favorite thing, and then things that needs improving. So this sparks a very healthy discourse that I believe. So the first thing to come out and say, rage quit handling and fixing server disconnects mid-fight. Online in general is just cursed at the moment. Enjoys the main menu. I also big fan of the main menu. I've seen contrived responses about that, but I'm a big enjoyer of the main menu personally. Now, handling rage quits. That's one thing. 110% with you there. There's been a ridiculous amount of videos that I've produced at this point, just full of rage quitting, and it's just straight up people giving up, just mid-match, just saying yeah that's it, and it's not okay. It's not all right. And as for the disconnection, at this point it's not something that I've experienced, but I have seen a lot of people go through it, and ultimately that is that's a big server issue. But lots of people were like hypothesizing that it may run on the same kind of like server as Xenoverse. And if you played Xenoverse as much as I used to, that's it's a terrifying thing to hear. So hopefully not. Hopefully again it's just a large influx of player kind of thing, and we can get that one addressed. So Blitz here goes into a little bit more detail. So punishing rage quitters, which again, universally we kind of just agree on that. Most people just, the rage quitting is ridiculous. There's almost no repercussions for it at this point, from what I understand. They plan on implementing repercussions, but as of now, you rage quit, you're home free, then you get to do whatever you'd like. Now this one, making the vanish window smaller after each successful one. That's a big one. Listen, the deeper you get into the game, the more it becomes a vanish war. And sure, in a lot of ways, that's Dragon Ball. That's a very Dragon Ball accurate fight. But like this, for example, this is ridiculous. This goes on for, this is a full minute of this. Because again, both sparking, it's key based. So you can keep going as long as you have key. The timing doesn't change. The timing remains the same. You can just keep doing it over and over as much as you can do it. It is genuinely ridiculous. And again, like I said, the higher you climb up, that's just what matches turn into. Just vanishing. Whoever has the key wins, because you're not going to keep missing the timing. Unless there's like an input delay, something like that, but it gets very repetitive. It gets very annoying. So hopefully they can work on addressing that as soon as possible, because again, even if it's just make the vanish window smaller, if that happens, but that it's like frame perfect, at that point it's almost hype. It's like, oh, look at them, they're going crazy. As of right now, it's just two people counting 2 Mississippi in their head and then hitting circle. Literally. And it goes on infinitely. It's way too easy to accomplish. So we'll see how that one goes. Now this one as well, removing time on DP battles. This is a big thing. A lot of people in DP, especially again in the high rank, are literally just stalling out and winning by health. Because they have Yajirobe on the team, of course. So wait it out, throw on a bunch of characters, you'll have the character advantage. If you don't have the character advantage, have the health advantage. Pop a senzu bean. Pop a senzu bean 10 times in a match, which sounds crazy, but boy, trust me, it's possible. And yeah, now things like this, more outfits, of course, that's not even a complaint, it's just a general want. Improving the input delay, and something like this, make interrupting somebody using skill points cause them to lose the skill points. This would address the instant sparking characters. As you know, they tend to be the stronger one. If you can just jump into sparking, in this case, saying if you were able to interrupt them while they're doing it, they lose the points. So they can't just insta spark again after you interrupt them from doing it the first time. So this is honestly like a good general consensus of what most of these comments boil down to, and what most of the community can agree on. You see things, more maps, more outfits again, better servers, input delay. This is story mode related. Add a retry when you finish a story mission. That'll of course be beneficial for some people. Input delay, vanish window smaller. Stages. Hey, Garlic Jr. Hey, I'll take a base form, Garlic. I mean, he didn't really do much. The buff form is kind of the more important version, but I take it. I run with it. You know me, I love me some Garlic. Again, remove the clock if they can just heal themselves. This is Yajirobe. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. This is another big one. The controls, especially that standard and classic glitch, that has to go. It literally impedes you for picking a different controller setting from your opponent. It quite literally makes the fight harder for you. So that's too much. So yeah, again, in general, people love the game. In general, people love Sparking Zero. These are just ways to, again, address some of the things that are wrong with it. Again, what ifs and mods will carry this game in the long run, agree. And now, a good example of that too, again, right here, no crossplay. In 2024, I will say yes, having crossplay should be almost a given, but there's also a good part of me that's like, well, actually, I'm kind of happy that we don't. First of all, we're already having server issues. Crossplay certainly wouldn't make them better. They would not enhance server, performance. And on top of that, a lot of people were talking about it, having crossplay with PC would inherently make us fight cheaters. It's not to like generalize or anything, but on PC you have more freedom. Everybody knows that. And that freedom, unfortunately, usually leads to lots and lots of nonsense. I think on Xenoverse, that's what started leading to people taking raid boss moves and stats and whatever, and just going crazy, things that shouldn't have existed. It was insane. And in this game, it would be no different. I'm sure we'd be fighting 12 health bars, Super Saiyan 4 Gogetas, and of course you always say, well, they should find a way to moderate that, and etc, etc. The point is, it would be a lot more of a chore than it already is before we've addressed the problems that we already have, to then look at crossing the servers over. And tack onto that, from what I understand, most of the time it's Sony. It's usually Sony who's like, yeah, nah, we don't want to crossplay with people. Tends to be Sony a lot of the time. And with the way Xbox servers currently are, people on Xbox are just fuming with this game. So we'll see again how long it lasts and where it goes from here. So map, outfits, but yeah, things like that. The menu, the HUD, but in general, again, we got the basics out the way. And these things are not bashing the game. They're giving an opinion about a game that they enjoy and, that they want to see be better. Having an opinion about this game that's negative does not automatically mean you're being negative about the game. You're pointing out a flaw because you'd like the flaw to be better. And that's not crazy. There's nothing about that that's insane. So, yes, okay, I also wanted to reference this one. This is what I was talking about, the fast controls. one of the two blast moves doesn't work, and you lose matches for it straight up. That, right, like right here in this picture, this is crazy. This is crazy. So that's genuinely something that has to be fixed. It has to be adjusted. We'll see how that works. Now, another thing that this whole debate has sprung up, which I will reference again Lotus for here. He made a video about it recently. This people who want Sparking Zero to be competitive, and not just competitive in the fact that, you know, it's a game where you fight people. Competitive like Street Fighter and Tekken. That will never happen. It's also not supposed to be the case. This game does not seek to be those games. This game will not be a main evil event. Nobody's going to that to what. If you've seen the competitive scene for Sparking that we have at the moment, very premature, very prepubescent, yes, but it's god awful. The length of the fights, insane. The metas, insane. The fact that the game is super unbalanced, insane. But again, there definitely are arguments for both sides of the coin here, but yeah, I'm gonna strongly disagree. Having ranked is not a competitive scene. Now, this person does go on to clarify that he's mocking other people that are saying it, but yeah, like right here, it's not a competitive game. Just because you fight people does not make it a competitive game. And you see, right here, ranked is literally competitive mode for players to compete. So we're ignoring definitions now and coming up with our own terms. Even Mario Party has competitive mode. Boom. And this is the problem. But when people, and again, another point that Lotus brings up, hopefully it's here. Yes, again, a large reason for the discourse is a lack of establishment for what we mean by the word competitive. Because like the last person said, Mario Party is competitive. So that if we're doing that, then yeah, sure. Mario Party is a competitive game too. So is Uno. Why don't we have Uno at EVO? But again, there's nuance. People love to ignore nuance, especially on Twitter. Twitter is adverse to nuance. They hear the word nuance and get terrified and run away. Right here, black and white thinking. Nobody just on Twitter seems to understand nuance, or they're intentionally dense about it. So this is a discussion that's also contributing to some of the negative feedback for the game, because people are trying to put it somewhere it doesn't belong. And that inherently is not negative, but people are being very negative about it. There are many just negative posts about the game and talking about whether it classifies as a fighting game or not, the competitive part of the game, why is it not, in certain tournaments, why are we hosting it like this, etc., etc. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense. And again, I understand it comes from very passionate people. That's respectable, but there has to be a line. We have to understand nuance, and we have to understand the point of the game. The developers themselves said that this is not a competitive game. If you're going against the developers at that point, you're beyond help. What can we do? So, anywho, this was just a brief video just touching down on some of the current problems that Sparking is facing, both by, for me and the community. Mainly those two things do intersect. A lot of people that I understand, have these problems. We all tend to be having the same problems with the game, and we still love it. We still enjoy it. It's an amazing game. It's Tenkaichi 4. You know how much we've been waiting for all this. But loving something does not mean you cannot criticize. In fact, criticizing almost means that you really do love something because you want it to improve. You want it to get better. So if at any point somebody says something like, if you're talking bad about a game, if you're not immediately agreeing that everything about it is 10 out of 10 perfect, it's flawless, it's the best Dragon Ball game to ever grace the planet, don't listen. That person doesn't actually want the game to improve. They like it as it is, even if it's garbage, even if it's littered with bugs. They just want it to be as it is because they're comfortable with it. Don't listen to anybody rooted in comfortability. Being rooted in comfortability is a horrible, horrible mindset to have. So, either way, thanks so much if you did watch the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that beautiful stuff. And yeah, we're going to continue to do Sparking here, of course. Again, just pointing these things out doesn't mean I don't love the game. It's a fantastic game. I'm actually so happy with it and never regret a cent that I spent on it. So, outside of that, hope everybody has a beautiful day. And yeah, we're out here.